Keep it real.
Hello everybody, welcome to Creative Chess channel. My name is Novikova Galina and today I'm going to tell you about the Women's Speed Championship tournament which is going on Chess.com site, and now it's the time of semifinals. Today we'll see the game between two grandmasters. The first one is Katerina Lagno, GM from Russia. On her way to semifinals, she outplayed her compatriot Valentina Gunina and also a GM from Georgia, Nana Zagnidze. Her opponent today will be Harika Dronavalli from India, who had also had a quite a difficult way to semifinals. She outplayed GM from Grandmaster Alexandra Kostyniuk and Anna Muzichuk from the Ukraine. So here you can see the prize fund of this tournament, or the Women's Speed Chess Championship. First place $20,000, second $12,000, and for the third place it's $5,000. You see that her first girls played 1 hour and 15 minutes 5+1, then 45 minutes 3+1, 25 minutes 1+1, and in case of a draw they have tie breaks, and here if it is a draw then there'll be an Armageddon game. I will not tell you in this video about 1 hour and 15 minutes of 5+1. I just say that they ended in a draw, 3.5 against 3.5. So let's enjoy 3+1 games and other time controls. So the first game started and Katerina Lagno from Russia played with white pieces, and Harika Dronavalli chose a Lagno defense. And to tell you the truth, so this Lagno defense, Dronavalli will play very often in this game. And you see a very interesting variant. So white are attacking the pawn on f7. And for example, if black make a mistake and play castle, e6 just loses nearly on the spot, because after that black's position became very bad. For example, let's say black capture, and then white can capture. Of course, in case the bishop takes, then the knight takes. And if the king retreats to h8, then goes a fork, and black loses some material here. So that's why here Harika didn't castle but played the move e6. To tell you the truth, this variant is quite old variant. Be careful, mate on f7. And I like this variant for black because here it seems from the first glance that white is attacking and has lots of chances. But actually we'll see that here Harika defended quite well. For example, it seems that just to play h4 would be a good idea. And then h5, and then probably to open the black's king. But it's not that easy. Okay, let's have a look at some variants here. Actually here h4 is already a mistake. You'll be surprised, because in this case black can play something like ed, and here black's position is better. Katerina played g4, but actually it's a useless move because it doesn't help you to attack. The best variant for her was not to do like this, but just to capture the knight and play the bishop and then play like this. But here black can just attack the queen, not allowed to play h6 and then queen to g7. We are attacking the queen, so the queen just captures, and then very nice move, queen to e5, and here you see that the black is a pawn up, and their position is better. But Katerina didn't play this variant, but though it was the best one to capture the bishop, she played just g4, and Harika just attacked the bishop on f6, and Kate played h5, giving her precious precious bishop on f6. And of course, black just captured, because this bishop is really a good one. And after that, their position became not very nice, because here you may see that the same way black is going just to exchange their queens. Actually, I was surprised here that Harika didn't exchange the queens, but maybe it was better, but she wanted to attack herself, because just out of a sudden you see that black's position became quite well, and here black could easily win. They played knight f3, but the winning move was not this, though it's also wins, but it was much faster. Just to play queen to d3, it's a check, and if the king goes to e1, it's a checkmate. And if, for example, king goes to g2, there can be something like this. Actually, here not all the variants. White losing. Here they're without their queen. But Harika didn't spot this winning move. She didn't play queen to d3. But again, in all the variants here, black is much better. For example, but Harika also played a nice move, attacked both pieces. But actually here she didn't spot that after queen to f6, she could have checkmated in one, like this, as checkmate. She didn't spot it, and she went on playing, and everything turned upside down now, because here you'll see that move by move, black's position will get worse and worse. And here you see that already white is attacking, and black has to defend. Yeah, this was very nice game, but there were lots of mistakes, of course. But actually here white managed to win. Even to win, it was a terrible mistake from Harika not to spot the checkmate, but it's the game and everything can happen. And here black won their first game. Katerina Lagno won, and Harika Dronavalli lost. So the second game ended in a draw. It was quite a positional game, though interesting, but we'll not see all the games today, because it's just a review. Yeah, don't be surprised. The third game was in the same variant, again Alekhine defense. And here Katerina played knight to f6. She decided to change her playing, and here she played h4, which is already a mistake. Why? And what should she do? Actually, that's very interesting. You will never guess what is the best move here for white. Actually, the best move here is playing d5. Of course, it's if you haven't looked at this variation before, it's very difficult to find it at the board. And so the idea is, if, for example, black captures, and after all these exchanges, white is attacking the f7 pawn, and black has no defense from it. So, but what to do in this case after d5? Because white is threatening just to capture on e6. Again, it's very difficult to understand. I think that Harikar just knew about this, but e4 was the best move here. The idea is that white needs to capture, and in this case, black is on time to play bishop to e6, just cementing all the position. But again, I'll repeat that to find d5 here is quite a difficult thing to do. And Katerina didn't find this, and she just played h4. And yeah, instead of d5, she played h4. And here her position already is worse, much worse. And this knight to d2 is also a mistake, because after the move h6, her bishop has no good squares, because if it retreats to f4, for example, black can only capture, and that's all. So she's losing her bishop very quickly, though she's playing white. And after move queen to f5, her position is just lost. Again, Harika played Alekhine defense very well and won. The next game also finished in a draw, and again Katerina Lagno is playing white, and again she's facing Alekhine defense, but this time she didn't play that variant because she got really very bad positions after all that, and she decided just to play positionally. And first this game, yeah, by the way, here she played knight to d5. Actually, here white could win. It's small tactics. Knight to e5 was the best answer, of course, because you're just winning a pawn, and you have very good chances for winning the game. And unfortunately, Katerina didn't face that, and she just played differently. But these small tactics played a very important role here, because sometimes girls didn't support. Just small tactics, that's clear, that was very difficult, nerves and time pressure and all that stuff. So Katerina played this move, and here capturing the pawn wasn't the best idea, because the bishop goes to c6 this way. So the best was to play bishop to c5, and then, for example, after some exchanges, black can play like this, and as you see, the position is more or less equal. And yeah, here's a pin. Black can't capture the bishop, and let us say play like this, for example. Yes, and in this case, so it's a balance, more or less. But Katerina played not very nice here. No, here you can't play queen to d6 because of bishop c5, yes. Okay, let's play like this, for example, and anyway, the position is equal here. But Katerina didn't play like this. She didn't play bishop to c5 here, and she just lost a pawn here, and black's position became much better. A very active bishop on c6, and be careful, the threat is bishop to c5, and what can black do? Yes, they play like this, and actually black still is a pawn up, and slowly they are outplaying white. Yeah, you see the black pawns are devils, and here black plays yeah, in this position they play h5, but it wasn't the best move. The best move here is just to play e3, let us say, and if white capture, we can play not just capture immediately, but to play b6, attacking the bishop, and then only then we can capture, and black's position is completely winning. Okay, and this was the next game. So this time Harika played with white, and actually she blundered here. You see that white knight is attacked, and Harika played king to g2. Yeah, so of course she could have retreated, for example, like this. Yeah, white is a pawn up. Of course, it might be captured on b3, for example, but unfortunately she blundered, nerves, pressure, yes, and after this move, white resigned. Then here you may see that next game was like the same, like a gift. So the previous game was a gift to Katerina from Harika, and this game was the gift from Harika to Katerina, though vice versa. Actually, because here Katerina just also blunders, she played bishop to d5, and after rook to d5 she resigned, as she's losing a piece. Yeah, black here is winning. So you see that the girls are just it's just three, it's still 3+1 games, and here you may see that here Harika is playing white, and actually this position was quickly winning for her. She's attacking, and yeah, she has captured a lot of different material. Yeah, by the way, she made a mistake here, because it was better for her not just to put the knight on the e-file, and to put it on d2. And in this case, for example, we want to play knight to e4. Let's show you. And then after some exchanges, because white had to capture, then the black squares are very weak. And let's say play like with this. So we are planning checkmate on g7, and actually here black needs to resign. But Harika played knight to e3, and but actually the position was nearly the same. Also, bishop to e6 was a very very bad move, and here white played bishop to d4, but they were winning on the spot. They didn't notice this, that here they're winning. Again, small tactics. If rook to f8, then queen to g7, and if, for example, king goes to h7, then we're just threatening checkmate, and here white is winning. So, but it didn't happen in the game, because Harika didn't capture this knight on d5. She just played the bishop back. But anyway, white's position is much better, and very quickly black lost here. Let's have a look how it happened. Again, these dark squares, they're very weak. They're threatening checkmate, and white won. Okay, let's have a look at the results, as 3+1 second games are over. Here we may see that 1 hour and 15 minutes, it's 5 minute plus 1 second games ended in a draw, 3.5 against 3.5. Then we had just seen 45 minutes, or 3 minutes plus 1 seconds. They ended in Harika's favor, 3.5 against 4.5. So the total score now is 7-8, and we're going for the bullet, 1 plus 1. So here Katerina plays white, and her position is a little bit better, and especially that black makes a mistake. Here for white it's better to play bishop to e7. There's not f5 like Katerina played, but bishop to e7 would have been the best variant, so we are aiming for f6. And here there is an interesting variant. White played f5, and black is attacking the rook. But here actually white was winning and they missed this chance. The win was actually very nice. It was exchange sacrifice. So first of all, check, and then beautiful exchange sacrifice, and we are tearing apart black's defense. For example, I think they need to take, and for example, king goes to g7. Yeah, and we're just losing the rook, but in case of king to h7 and trying to stop the pawn from promoting, here is a nice move. It's impossible just to take the bishop because of the checkmate, and if not to, what to do then? Okay, so if just to retreat, then white simply goes to f2, and again the same situation, they are threatening checkmate. Yeah, there would have been quite a nice sacrifice, but white didn't spot it. They just retreated with the rook to d2 instead of playing f6. And here it was black's turn to win, and instead of just retreating with the bishop, they might have played this variant. And now you see, out of a sudden, black is going to attack the white pieces, and now black's position is better. But again, so black didn't sport this opportunity, and they just retreated with the bishop instead of capturing the pawn. And so happened, after some moves, there happened such a position where white won, and we can see that here is a checkmate. So let's have a look at another game. Here Harika played with white pieces and Katerina with black, and here white made a terrible move, knight to g1, and black made also a mistake. Instead of, they might have played just some small tactics, and here black's position is winning. We are attacking the rook on f2, and if, for example, rook goes to e2, may just capture, and then we have an exchange and a very nice position. But anyway, you see that the opening wasn't quite successful for white here, so they played this move. Yeah, though black didn't support this knight to f2 move, but actually anyway, after some exchanges which happened in the game, so here black is winning. So 1+1 games are over, and they ended in Katerina Lagno's favor, 4.5 against 3.5. So the total score for all time controls is 11.5 against 11.5, and we are waiting for tie breaks. So in the first game of tie break, there'll be only 4 games of tie break, 1+1. Lagno played white. She had quite a nice position. Actually, see that white's knight is very active, and she's playing very well. And you see, I would prefer white here. Black's king can't feel safe. And Katerina approaches the king, and here is a terrible blunder. Just imagine the tie breaks. Probably she was very tired, and she just blundered here, and so white lost. So 1-0. Then came another game, game number 2, and here Katerina is playing black. And white is attacking the knight on the b4. And here Katerina was thinking for a long time, if it's possible to think for a long time in 1+1 games, but she hasn't found the move queen to b5, which would have been the best variant here. You see that in this case, white is their piece up, but they don't have lots of pawns, so it would have been the best. But she played a5, and after these moves, she just exchanged everything. And again, you see that her black's position is worse, and black should have just lost here, at least not to win. But I will see what happened, and Katerina was really lucky here, playing black, not very good position. She just played queen to f5. She's going to play rook to c2. White played e3, rook to c2, and here white was winning. Just imagine it would be 2-0 in Harika's favor, but she didn't support this knight d4 move. It's a fork actually, and if we capture the queen, it will be check. So that's why the only move here is just to capture. And in this case, yes, queen can capture. Just attention, the checkmate is threatening, but here we can easily defend everything. So, and white is a piece up, and it's a winning position. But just imagine that here in this beautiful position, instead of knight to d4 and winning, then it would have been 2-0. Harika just plays an awful move e4, and it's a blunder because Katerina just won a rook here. Actually, it became a 1-1, and the third game was a draw, and this was the game, a decisive game of a time break. If it is a draw, then that would have been Armageddon. But if white wins, then Harika would be the finalist of this tournament. And if black wins, then Katerina would be the finalist. Here you see that black's position wasn't that nice. From the very beginning, this wasn't played in the game. It would have been the best variant for white to play like this, just to attack the pawn on g6, and then just to checkmate the black's king. But actually it wasn't played in the game. So here Harika didn't support the move e to f. Yes, she didn't play like this. In this case, white would have been much better. But she didn't play this move. Instead, she just, yes, after c4, she captured. Anyway, here from the very beginning, white's position was really quite well. And it became clear that probably white is winning, especially after f5. You see that black's position is very difficult to defend. And here Harika, in her last game of these semifinals, is showing her beautiful attacking skills and just wins very beautifully. Here you see okay, she didn't play this move, queen to f6, because she has supported the winning of the queen already, and this was the end. I congratulate Harika Dronavalli for this beautiful win, but I also want to say thank you to Katerina Lagno. She played really well and also deserved to be the finalist of this tournament, but today Harika was better. Harika now is waiting for her opponent in the final of this tournament, and this is definitely will be the person from China, either the world champion Hu Yufan or her compatriot Lei Tingjie. And we'll have a look and about this game I will tell you in my next videos. So thanks for watching me. Please subscribe to my channel and see you next videos. Bye bye.
Fire when the storm hits you.
That's it, Brian?
Yes.